Hello there, guys. My name is Izzy with Izzy Marketing, and today what I'm going to do is show you guys how I generate hundreds, and I literally mean hundreds of phone calls for junk removal services throughout the state of California. I help several different guys with junk removal services, and I want to show you guys exactly some of the steps that I take to make that happen so you guys can implement this into your business and generate free advertising for your business pretty easily. As you already know, um, probably in my opinion, the big, of course, word of mouth is always great. If you have a crappy company, shitty service, you're not going anywhere. You have to have a good company. You have to give a damn, and you got to care about what you're doing. And of course, whenever you do service, the word of mouth is gonna get it's gonna get going for you. But you still need something out there that's constantly getting you leads, constantly getting your name out there, constantly just basically you become omnipresent. And how you do that is by utilizing the internet. So what I do is I help people, I help contractors and stuff like that, but I help a lot of junk removals. And today I want to show you how I help these guys and how you guys can implement this stuff onto your business and have basically get free leads if you just utilize something pretty much all of you guys already have is a website. It's just people don't utilize their website. I think they use it, some people use it as a brochure for the business, and it should be an asset, in my opinion, the most important asset of your business. So here's how you can do it. So as you already know, people go online looking for all kinds of services these days. Junk removal is a massive service. People use their smartphone to look up, to get stuff hauled out of their house. They use their smartphone, I would say, 90% of the time compared to going on the computer and looking up for junk removal services. So they go on your phone and they type in junk removal in the town that they're living in. So I want to show you how you can have your website show up on the Google search results whenever somebody types in junk removal. This is going to be your number one piece of advertising. And if you do this correctly, you could do it, and it's absolutely free. And in my opinion, Google wants you to do this stuff, and people don't have any idea of how to do it. So here's how you do it. And here's another important key tip to it, um, the map listing. Google map listing. I'll showcase that more in another video. But this is very important too. But if your website is not ranking here, the chances of it getting pushed into the map listings are slimmer. So if you have a great ranking website, Google really emphasizes, takes a look at that and the map listing that's connected to it and helps it place it towards the top, which gives you free advertising for your business. So here's what you need to do. So here's the website that I help a gentleman out in my area. It's called Paso Robles, California. Paso Robles Junk Removal Services. So the very first thing you need to do on your website is make sure your headline is absolutely clear to Google what it's your website's going to be about. So if you have a junk removal service out in Clovis, California, your first headline should say Clovis Junk Removal Services. So that way Google, as soon as it's scrolling and there's a crawlers that go through your website, reads that website, the very first line it sees, Google immediately knows and picks it up. Okay, we need to showcase this website when anybody types in Clovis Junk Removal Services. And you'll see this on this website here. It's the very first headline that Google sees. Paso Robles Junk Removal Services. Okay? So that's the very first thing you need on any website. Okay? Now, the next thing you need to do, and I'm telling you, you could go in there and do this all yourself. Step number 2, you got to make sure you have subheadlines. The subheadlines basically reinforce the top headline. Google goes through and reads subheadlines. How it does it, kind of almost human-like. It goes in there, okay, what's the headline? Scrolls down, what are the subheadlines? And then it goes back and reads the content. So your headlines should also include your city name and junk removal services. Here's some examples. Why choose our Clovis City junk removal services? Example number 2, your company name. Let's say you're called the Junk Takers. The Junk Takers junk removal services in Clovis, California, or in Reno, Nevada, or Eugene, Oregon, anything like that. So you have to make sure you do that. So here, let's go back to the site again. You see this here. Are you looking for a Paso Robles junk removal service? So okay, now Google's reading this and going, okay, all right, this website's going to be about junk removal in that city. The Junk Takers, junk removal services in Paso Robles, another subheadline. Okay, Another one. What makes us different from other junk removal services? There you go. It's the subheadline again. And I believe that's it. And you only need to sprinkle about, two, three, no more really than that, four at the max. But all that does is reinforce to the search engine Google that you are a junk removal service in this particular town. So when somebody types in those words, your website will show up. It's the junk takers right there. Okay. And then step number 3. This is probably the hardest one. Content on your website. You have to have good content on your website. What is search? What is Google? What is Yahoo? What is Bing? What are they? At the end of the day, they are information. And if you don't give enough information, Google, the search engine, is kind of ignore you. It's looking for more content, it's looking for more information, looking for more stuff to show the end consumer. Remember, Google's looking out for themselves. They want to be the number one search engine for decades and decades to come. And they ain't gonna soil their name by putting up some crummy website at the top of the search results, no matter what the person's searching. So make sure you get some good content on your website. If you can't write it yourself, if you got kids, make them do it. You can hire somebody to do it. You can figure out a way to create content. You can probably do it yourself, especially if you're breaking into little sections. I'm going to show you here with this one here. See, we do stuff like this. And there's little things that people are asking themselves when they go online about their junk removal services, some of the things that they offer here, um, some of the things that they remove: basic junk removal, property cleanouts, furniture removal. See, and this kind of stuff allows you to come up with things to write about. You see this, which creates more content. Here's more stuff. What makes us different from other junk removal services? A little bit more content here. Another great way to create content is to create some testimonials. That eats up a lot of words, a lot of content. So that's another thing that you guys should do, is create a decent amount of content for your site, so that Google picks it up, it reads more information, and it knows what the website's going to be about. And you'll see here, let me go back to my steps. Also, as you're creating your website, you got to make sure you sprinkle in the words. Don't overdo it. Junk removal, junk hauling, junk removal company, junk removal service, stuff that you know people are typing into their phones when they're looking for a junk removal type service. All right. So that's step number 3. Step number 4, fix your meta description. Okay, this seems a little complicated, but it's really not. So if you go to your website and you scroll your little hand, your arrow to the top right here, this tab, that tab, it shows the meta description to Google search engine. So you can see right here, it says Pass Rebels Junk Removal Services, the junk takers. So it's like a folder and a filing cabinet. You go into the folder. If you see a tab that doesn't say nothing on it, or it's confusing, you don't know what the hell's in that folder, right? So the same thing happens with the Google search engine. It's looking through tabs and it's making sure the information is correct. And what's also happening is, you'll see this guy, however, with this junk removal service in Santa Barbara, this is the meta description that shows up. This is called the meta description. You see this? So when somebody types in Santa Barbara junk removal, this is the guy's meta description. You got to make sure that the keywords that you're trying to get found for are included in the title here. This is the title of your meta description, and this is a description of your meta description. And you got to make sure those words are included in both, so that the search engine has absolutely no reason to ignore your page to be shown for this type of information. So how do you fix that? Well, every website builder, let's see if I got this one loaded up here. I believe it's on here. Something called the SEO settings. Okay. I don't care if you're using WordPress, Wix, Weebly. This is Weebly, Square. There's a place called SEO settings on your page. And on your SEO settings, this is where you can change your description. So you can see that. And so you change the description right there. And I want to show you some examples of what you can do. Let's see here. Here's an example. Fix your page title. Junk removal, Santa Barbara, California. You call, we haul. So see, that's exactly what shows up here. Let's go back to this one. Junk removal, Santa Barbara. You call, we haul, right? Okay. the example of your description now. The junk removal Santa Barbara residents call to haul away unwanted trash, affordable, fast, and reliable. Call us today at so and so for a quick free quote. See, you use that as your description, and that's what's going to show up here. You know what's really cool too? Some people don't know this, but when this pops up on a phone, this becomes clickable, especially if the higher it is. And what ends up happening, some people won't even visit your website. They'll just tap that and call you straight off of there. It's pretty crazy what ends up happening. Again, Google's looking out for themselves, want to give the end consumer a great experience. So that's what would work right there. And let's see, and I believe that's pretty much it when it comes to a website. That's the absolute bare bones you should be doing on your site. You could go in there tonight, go in there, look up all this information, and fix your site and get it ranking towards the top. And some of these sites right here, I swear to you, this site right here, the only reason it's showing over here is also we did on the site. We fixed the meta description, we created the content, we built a good, nice, solid website, and that's all it took to get it ranked. There's nothing else needed. And then, of course, there's one more thing I need to add. Let's go back to the site. Jeez, I can't find the right site. Well, let's go back to the junk takers. If you go to their site, the map listing, we embed it into the site as well. So Google perfectly knows that these are one and the same. So when you're looking for junk removal services, because this website has such authority now, it's actually helping push the map listing towards the top as well. There's a bunch of other things you need to do for this as well, but I'll leave that for another video. So those are 4 super simple steps. You could go in there. Might take you a day, might take you 2 days. It doesn't matter. Do your little bit of homework, but it's free advertising that will either make or break your business. And I'll tell you this, 90% of the calls this gentleman gets is from just being found on Google, and he's grown his business tremendously over the years. And basically by using Google, the search engine, and take advantage of what Google wants you to do anyways. All right, guys, hope you found that information useful, and peace out.